Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, or Slay, and I am your host for this morning. I hope everyone is having a great start. This is where we pick it up. It's Tuesday. It's not quite halfway, but let me help you with the inspiration and the motivation that you might need to get you through because I know how hard sometimes it can be to be in a world where everything is fast paced, everything is going at a 20,000 miles per hour, if you will. So, as you come into the show, make sure that you let us know where you're streaming in, first of all. Okay, tell us your name. I love to give shout outs just to have that real time conversation. And I am here, y'all, as your image consultant. As your image consultant, use personal branding as the vehicle. Now, some of us are like, okay, what is this personal branding thing about? Well, let me just share with you. First of all, I empower women professionals with their personal brand strategies to gain lucrative opportunities so that they can elevate their impact. Personal branding is all about how you present yourself to the world, both online and offline. It is the process of intentionally developing and managing the way you're perceived with the goal of establishing a unique identity and building a strong reputation in your field or in your industry. And so I do that through four different areas. We look at your appearance, behaviors, communications, and your online and your offline presence. And so, as we are here this morning, I'm here to just share with you all just a little bit about who I am and how I perceive certain things or how my journey began. So, slay, okay, is a whole thing. All right. Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym full of life philosophies that really resonated to me and that I value, which are stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So let's get started in this conversation this morning. It's all about how to infuse your personal brand with your executive presence. All right, we're going to infuse this personal brand so you can own your executive presence. So I did not understand what executive presence was. I didn't know what it even looked like. I didn't know. People were saying things like that. Foreign language to me, y'all. Foreign language. After serving 30 years in the United States Air Force, I decided, hey, what is it that really had me thinking about the journey that I was in my career? And I looked to this executive presence as one of the things that I used towards my advantage in the later years of my career. I was a late bloomer. All right. I was the airman who wasn't really paying attention when I came into the military. I was doing my own thing. And then I had to stop and think, well, why is it that I'm not getting promoted at the right interval times or the times where I thought that I could get promoted? I didn't quite understand what it was. I didn't understand why they were allowing other people to speak on behalf of projects and tasks that I owned. All right. And I was well versed in. I was very talented, very intelligent, understood my job front and back, side to side, up and down, and I was hardworking. I was always doing more than I was asked to do because, if you how you do anything is how you do everything is one of the things that I always speak to, and I really wanted to, be the go-to, but it took some tweaking. All right. There was a lot of things that I needed to learn. So as I got further in my career and some of my ranks did not come at the time that I thought it was or commensurate with my peers, I realized that I had to figure out what was going on. So I had a mentor. Um, more than halfway in my career, I had a mentor. And that mentor pulled me to the side and she says, "We got to work on your executive presence." Y'all, I had no idea what she was talking about. Executive presence, this is new language to me. So I started to understand it was the littlest things that I could change in a way where I can now be the person to get in front of the audience or in front of a meeting to present or in a meeting and actually speak to the projects and tasks that I had. So, with all this experience that I had already, I just needed to know how to come into my personal brand because as I wanted to go, I wanted to be uniquely me, but in a way that I could stand out from my peers and be called on. So I struggled at first with my confidence and my authority, and which are so essential for executive presence. I mean, I was struggling really, really badly, and I had to learn that my appearance and my demeanor actually lacked the polish and the professionalism that I needed. Yes, I wore a military uniform, but it was in the way that I wore the military uniform. Was it ironed, at the time? Were my boots polished? Did I have my hair up off the collar? Were my nails in a certain, length with the right polish? I mean, all these different things I had to really tie it into, okay, I need to polish my appearance up. And I didn't dress the way to command attention or reflect the confidence and the leadership potential that I had. My body language was off, a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit insecurity. I sometimes avoided eye contact and I was slouching around. And I had to understand what it is that I needed to get better at. And my communication style was off. Okay, I struggled to assert myself. I struggled to express my ideas with clarity and conviction. I was shy from speaking, which is the oddest thing because now that's all I do. I I speak at a lot of different events and engagements, but I was shy. I didn't speak up in meetings. I did not advocate for myself and for the accomplishments. There's a way to brag, if you will, or share about your accomplishments, and I didn't know how to. And so, as a result, I was being overlooked for those opportunities, and I was not really being taken seriously by my peers or my superiors, the people that were above me. And then, as time went on, I also had to get with the times of what was happening in the world, and social media started to blow up. I had Facebook and I was like, okay, well, if I have a Facebook, page, what is it on here exactly how I'm going to convey what I want and what that's going to look like. And so I also used emails, right? Because was sending out a lot of emails. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm a thought leader. I like ideas that are centered around leadership. And so I started to leverage those emails and to kind of plug in some things that I was actively insightful about and the content that positioned me as the thought leader. So my personal brand, okay, that I would had going on prior to me understanding what it is that I could do to elevate my executive presence, to own my executive presence. It needed to command respect. It needed to inspire confidence, and I needed to lead with authority. All right, so I had to look at what I was doing because I did want to build meaningful connections, and I wanted to establish myself as a credible and influential leader as a medical technician, because that's what I started out at in my military career. So, what is it that I needed to do? Well, the mentor that I was talking to, she spent a lot of time with me, coaching me. All right. She coached and mentored me, um, gave me feedback, y'all, after meetings, after engagements, whatever, whenever it was time, she was given. All right. And I started to understand what executive presence was. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit about what it is. Okay, because it's not just about how you look or how you speak, it's about projecting confidence and authority. And it's all in our interactions, one by one, each person that we meet. How are we conveying our ideas to them? And so, executive presence really encompasses our demeanor, our communication style, and our overall image. All right. So if you're here and you're listening in, if it, anything um, that you have that strikes a thought or a comment, just go ahead and put it in. I'm very interactive. I love to do this live so that way I can support whoever might have a question about the topic that we're talking about. And today we're talking about how to infuse our personal brand to own our executive presence. And the first thing is we have to understand what executive presence is. And that's all about demeanor, our communication style, and our overall appearance. All right. And then we have to define our personal brand. Do you know what it is, all right, that you want to be known for? Have you even thought about that? I knew I wanted to be known for as the go to, as the person that they can count on, as the person that could speak up and let people know the real deal about what was going on. Sometimes people live in a world where everything is perfect. And I was like, no, reality is this is what's happening and this is what's going on. But I had to learn how to convey it in a way where my receiver was actually going to say, oh, okay, yeah, let me listen more. Tell me more about what it is. All right. What values do you embody? What values do you want to embody? What image do you want to project to the world? These are questions that we could start asking ourselves right now, and then finding out how we can define our personal brand. We have to understand our personal brand, and that personal brand has to align with the traits that we want to associate with executive presence. Hey, Charlene, how are you? Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday, girl. I'm in here talking about executive presence and how to infuse our personal brand to own our executive presence. So if you have any comments, as I know you do, go ahead and put it in the comment section, and so we can have a conversation today. So thank you for showing up live with me, Queen. All right. The next we have to do is we have to project confidence. All right. Confidence is the cornerstone of executive presence. All right. As I share with you, I struggled with my confidence. I was overweight before I went into the military. I struggled with my weight as I was in the military for the first 10 years, and that messed with my confidence level. I didn't want to get put in front of people because I knew that they were going to be looking and going, you know what, she doesn't really look the part. All right. And I knew it. That's the next part. My uniform was getting tighter. I didn't buy a bigger uniform because I said, you know what, I'm going to figure this out. And thank God that I did. But when I realized that my weight, all right, affected my confidence level, the way that I wanted to show up, I started to do something about it. All right. And so confidence was one of the things that I work on a daily basis because I still work out. All right. I still work out. I really take care of myself because I know it helps with my confidence levels. So we have to work on cultivating self assurance in our abilities and in our decisions. We have to be standing up tall and upright. And if you're in a chair, it's standing up or standing, it's sitting up tall in your chair. All right. Having that confidence so that way you can make those decisions, having eye contact, speaking up with conviction. All right. It's contagious when people can see that you have confidence, and it will inspire the confidence in others as well. So I have a little mini story to share about this as well. Okay, so have you all been into a meeting where you can barely even hear the person that's speaking? Like they don't even understand um the power of their voice. And so, it's like I would when I got into some higher leadership roles, there were people be in the back and I'm like, you know, So I would say it gently, y'all. I wasn't like trying to, hurt anybody's feelings or call them out in front of everyone. I said, "Can you please speak up? Because I know you have important information to share, and it would be, great for all of us to hear it." Because that person didn't really feel confident in what they were sharing, or maybe they had an experience before. So, we have to understand our voice and to speak to the level for everyone to hear, and that will raise our confidence level as well. All right, we have to have effective communication. Executive presence, effective communication has to be there. All right. We have to be practicing articulating our ideas clearly and concisely. We got to be paying attention to our tone, our body language, and our nonverbal cues. All right. Communication. All right. It will enhance your credibility and influence as a leader. I understand that it does. All right. So we have to be mastering our communication. And then one other thing is we got to polish up our professional image. We got to polish it up. All right. So I could easily came here on this platform. All right. And I could have just wore whatever. All right. I was very intentional about the outfit that I am wearing right now. Yes, I am fully dressed. Okay. So that's number one. Okay. I know this is a virtual platform, but I am fully dressed because when you get fully dressed, even on a virtual platform, there's something that just comes to play with that. You show up more differently. You show up for yourself. So we have to be dressed in the part of a leader and opting for, tailored clothing, polished attire, and that reflects your personal style and brand. Y'all, I wear pink every day, okay? This is my personal style and brand. But also got on a professional work jacket, all right, with my blouse underneath, because I think it's important for us to pay attention to grooming, okay? Pay attention to, how we are conveying our competence and our professionalism. And we could do that through our attire. All right. And then we also need to look at getting feedback and for continuous improvement all the time. Executive presence is a journey, is not a destination. It's a journey of continuous growth and refinement. All right. So we're going to have to seek feedback from our friends, our mentors, our colleagues, our supervisors, people that we actually trust, our trusted advisors, because they're going to identify areas for us to improve. And we cannot, we cannot look at feedback as being negative. All right. Not all feedback is negative. So take it in and be open to constructive criticism and commit to ongoing self improvement. And lastly, okay, we have to demonstrate emotional intelligence. I know I talked about it last week, but I'm going to keep on talking about it because I feel that sometimes people just don't understand what it is. It's crucial for effective leadership and executive presence. We have to develop that ability to understand and empathize with others' perspectives all the time. Practice active listening. People want to respond nowadays right away. They're already thinking through, okay, how can I respond and get my information out, as opposed to actually listening to what is being said and responding to that. I have been in meetings, y'all, where people were banging their fists on tables and yelling at the top of their lungs because they did not know how to demonstrate emotional intelligence. Okay. So we have to be actively listening, being empathetic, and understanding the interactions that we're having with other people. So that is today's discussion, if you will, about infusing your personal brand to own your executive presence. All right. Because we want to establish ourselves as confident, credible, and influential leaders in our field of expertise. We got to own our executive presence, every bit of it. All right. So, what we talked about is projecting our confidence, all right, and doing it in such a way that we can actually inspire others to be confident as well. We've got to have effective communication. We have to have that presence, all right, polishing up our professional image. We have to be seeking feedback and having continuous improvement because this is a journey. So that is today's discussion, Arise and Slay. Okay. And I know that you all are like, well, what else is going on, right? Well, if you are looking for more inspiration, you're not quite sure what it is that I do, you can find more information at www.slaytosuccess.com. After I retired from the military, y'all, I decided to start my business. It's called Slay to Success. So I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success. And in that, I do a number of things. But one of the things that I knew I could do was to use social media platforms as a way to communicate who I am and be authentic in it. So I built a website. And so when you go to the website, it is a website that I built with a lot of different information there. I have personal branding tutorials that you can go on YouTube and you can see and hear about what personal branding kind of looks like and kind of the services that I can provide. I also have 2 guides that just came out recently. You can find them on Amazon. All you got to do is put Rochelle Hemingway into the search engine and you will see 3 things come up. Number 1 is a copy of my book. It's called Slay to Success, and it's about my military career experiences in the United States Air Force, HUA, and also what the word slay means. One of the guides is Own Your Power, Build Your Memorable Personal Brand for women over 40. All right. Because I understand there are some unique challenges, especially if we've had a long career or we're just starting out to really establish ourselves credible outside of our work, or if you retired like I did. So I built a guide for that. And then also I have a guide called Elevate Your Image, and that is for the professional setting. So that it applies for anyone. If you want to understand more about personal branding and how you can leverage it to your advantage so that way you can get advances not only in your boardroom, but maybe in your business and in your life. All right. So it is for everyone. So I just wanted to share that with you all before you get started and go out on your day. So keep on slaying, okay, until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very, very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.